guys remember Letitia James, right? Remember all her rhetoric?
Stand up to an administration which is too male, too pale, and too stale. Too male, too pale, and too stale.
Oh boy. And remember how I said President Trump should have been like, Letitia James is too whack, too black, and too fat. We keep telling you guys a lot of stuff that they accuse them of doing is stuff that they are doing.
Say that these are fraudulent documents.
So what are we talking? What does this mean for James?
So exactly what Jonathan said there. He's exactly right. It's precisely what she brought against Donald Trump, which is to say that you overinflated the value of your properties in order to get more mortgages than your building was worth.
How are you people doing, my American brothers and sisters? Welcome to the channel. I am Ty Smith. You're watching my channel, Modern Renaissance Man, which I'm greatly appreciative of. Make sure you guys are following me on the platforms you see above and below. Hit the thumbs up button right now. That way that my content can stay consistently recommended to you. And if and when you do subscribe to the channel, make sure you hit the bell notification in the process. That will bring up another tab for you to select all notifications, all right? Last but not least, don't forget to go check out my other channel, Man, Husband, Father, that is going to be dropping some content here pretty soon. I promise you guys that. I just want you guys to go over there and subscribe. It's like gathering into the auditorium before I post content, and I will post in the community tab when I post something over there initially, okay? So make sure y'all do that. Bow! You guys already know that your boy was going to bring this right here because I was following this case the whole entire time when Letitia James, with her nonsense witch hunt case against President Trump about him inflating this, doing this. Oh, I got my crossed eye, I got my eye on Trump Tower. I want Trump Tower. Came after Trump for almost from what I remember, $500 million. Then it got dropped down to like 400 something. But anyway, the point is, it's in an appeals court right now, which most likely is going to get overturned. But Letitia James was being used just like Fonnie Willis was to go after Trump. It was nothing more than a witch hunt, which we all knew. Trump inflated this. He inflated that. There were no victims. There were no victims. The bank was like, yeah, we gave him the loan. Yeah, we gave him the loan. We made a deal with him. He paid us back with interest. Now, Letitia James, the very person who was claiming that Trump was doing something wrong and inflating his prices and doing a whole bunch of criminal things, now she's on the chopping block. For what? I don't know. Sounds like the same thing to me.
Sandra, a lot to get into with this, and you've got the perfect guest.
Yeah.
We've got the perfect guest to talk about it with.
He's here, retired NYPD inspector and Fox News contributor Paul Morrow, who reported on this back in early February. We'll get your thoughts on the speeding bride in moments. First, this is an incredible story. Oh, the irony.
Yeah, what a turnaround. So Sam Antar, as Eric mentioned, was arrested for a financial fraud himself about 40-something years ago, the infamous Crazy Eddie case that he was part of the architecture of. But that said, he subsequently, after pleading and testifying on behalf of the government, went to work for the government, helping them make white-collar cases. So he knows what he's talking about. He brings this thing to me on my Ops Desk blog, and he lays it out, and he's got documents. And it was very compelling. It's very hard to argue that, to me at least, to my eyes, the evidence that he's uncovered here really looks like there's a pattern of obfuscation, stuff that she has signed and notarized that does not seem to be accurate. And so the story's been bubbling up. And then when Laura Ingraham breaks it nationally, it gets attention. And as you mentioned, it's been referred to DOJ for a criminal referral. And that is no joke. That is the top of the prosecutorial food chain. She's going to have to answer this out.
And you were on this very early as well with your Substack. We can pull up call for number 1 right here. You had the headline, Sunday report, a Tish James scandal. Is the New York Attorney General guilty of exactly what she sued Donald Trump for? You then go into the details of what she's potentially accused of now. So what's it like for you to now see that there are potential criminal charges being referred to DOJ when you had this a couple months ago?
Yeah, I mean, it's gratifying that it's getting attention, and we have to be careful. Look, she's a public figure, I get that, but she gets her chance to answer this out. There hasn't even been a complaint or an indictment, so, you know, she might have answers. But as I said, it's really, really compelling, and I have to give credit to Sam Antar because he just kept digging away on this. People have thrown all kinds of shade at him here. Oh, you're working for the Trump administration. All of that's completely not true. He hasn't worked for the government in a long, long time. But there are two really salient aspects of this that if you have any kind of an investigatory mind, you have to say to yourself, there looks like there's some real smoke here. She's claimed these Virginia houses, at least one of them, as her primary residence when she's the Attorney General. In fact, some of that paperwork was filed when she was about to bring the case against Donald Trump. So that took real chutzpah. So the other thing, though, and I think this is real trouble, is that her Brooklyn residence. She has a residence in Brooklyn that she has repeatedly claimed over the course of the ownership that it's only 4 residences. Why? 5 or above is commercial, and that's going to be a higher rate. And so she's always claimed through a series of paperwork filings that it's only 4 residences.
Wow.
But the New York City certificate of occupancy, which is the determining factor, says that it's 5. And you got to say to yourself something else. She's been on a government salary. Where's she getting all of this property?
Yeah.
I mean, you know, she's quite the real estate tycoon.
Seems like a significant detail in all of this. You mentioned that this was broken on the Ingram angle last night. Here's Jonathan Turley on the criminal referral against James. Listen.
This is really for James, the very case that she most famously brought. She insisted that these technicalities matter and that the powerful should not be given a free pass. Well, that bill has come due in this case. She's going to have to deal with this filing. I'm honestly just not sure how you defend against this unless you say that these are fraudulent documents.
So what are we talking? What does this mean for James?
So exactly what Jonathan said there. He's exactly right. It's precisely what she brought against Donald Trump, which is to say that you overinflated the value of your properties in order to get more mortgages than your building was worth. Her Virginia property, one of them, by her own disclosure, which you have to disclose as a public figure, as a public employee, she puts it around $150,000. It's mortgaged, according to the paperwork, over $500,000. Now, it's not at the level of what Donald Trump did, because in Donald Trump's case, you're talking about buildings on Fifth Avenue, et cetera. But her building is at least 4 to 5 times overinflated for the purposes of mortgages. And some of the mortgages are in the public record, some of them are not. They look like phantom mortgage. The whole thing is fugazi, and you got to look into it. They're going to have to go into the Virginia records, the feds are, drop subpoenas, do search warrants, pull out all kinds of stuff. And there's one big question left, I think, that a lot of us are wondering, which is, who's living in the Virginia buildings?
Wow.
And are they paying rent? And are you reporting that rent? Are you paying the taxes on that rent? There's a lot here.
And it's probably out of the statute of limitations at this point, but you were saying like decades ago, she bought a property and put her dad down as her husband, essentially.
When she was about 20, so we're going back a ways, she put down that her father was her husband for the purposes of getting her first mortgage, apparently. And apparently there is some financial advantage to that I'm not clear on. Excuse me. But she's never been married, according to what we can discern here. And as a result, it does look like her father went down as her spouse about 30 years ago.
A lot of smoke. We'll see if there's some fire, right?
Wow, Letitia James, you are the typical, stereotypical black woman. Just lying like the folks in the hood did. I mean, golly, we knew friends and family who were young that by the time they became 16, 17, they like, I'm trying to get something. They told me I got bad credit. How do I got bad credit? I never had a credit card in my life. Parents taking credit cards out in their kids' names. Your credit jacked up because your mom them sat there and took credit cards and stuff out in your name and you didn't even know you was just a kid, man. And now Letitia James over here getting loans and everything like that, putting her own father down allegedly as her husband. Y'all know, come on, let's just keep it real. In the hood, I know a lot of people that I grew up with claiming dependents that wasn't even theirs because the government only allows you to claim so many kids. So if you got a bunch of kids in the ghetto in the hood, then let your friends and your neighbors next door can claim one of your kids as a dependent that they was taking care of them and claim that they are aunt to your kid and all that, which there's no way in really proving that. Come on, y'all. A lot of people are rigging the system. What am I saying? Letitia James, you live right up to the stereotype. Putting folks down that ain't even your husband and nothing like that. Put it's your own daddy. Just lying, Letitia. What are you doing? But guys, when it all comes down to it, some of you guys can look at this and say, this is Trump's way of sticking it to her. Now y'all want to look at Trump and say, Trump is taking revenge. He's being vindictive. Is he really? Or is it that, hey, if you're coming at me about something, I'm going to come at you about something. If you calling me a liar and said I'm doing something, let's look into what you're doing. And to be quite honest with you guys, I think all of them need to be looked into. Democrats, I'm not just talking about them. I'm talking about everyone. Everyone. Yeah, y'all remember that meme? Y'all don't remember that meme? I do. Anyway, point being, ladies and gentlemen, our so-called trusted politicians should have so much transparency. If you're going to do the right thing, just do the right thing. Do right by the people that you so-called serve. Is it really that hard not to? Let me know what you guys think about this by putting it in the comments section after this video. Don't forget to do what you guys see in this animation right here. That will greatly help my channel. If you would like to see the next video that I will be doing in chronological order, it's going to be up there. Videos as of yesterday. Boom. I am Ty Smith, Modern Renaissance Man. Hoping and praying that every last one of you guys have food, shelter, and clothing. Most of all, praying every last one of you guys are in great health mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually. God bless you all through Jesus.